Good morning, everybody. Hello, I'm so happy to be here and start the supervision course, Relational Embodied Supervision course. We have a lot of work to do. We will have 10 sessions with different tools, a lot of trauma work as well. I will introduce myself. I'm Orit Klapish. I'm a body-oriented psychotherapist, trauma specialist, and right now I'm a PhD candidate, and I do research about the women severe trauma in their early childhood, severe sexual trauma, and I'm looking forward into the resonance in therapy. So we will work with all those tools, the body resonance, the relational parts, and the imaginary, which is also an important tool. So what do we offer in this course, in this supervision course? First of all, we would like to have ground rules for successful supervision, to know how we do a good supervision. We will acquire in this course different notions of supervision as well. And also we will learn to work with different tools of supervision, the embodied tools, the focusing tools, the relational tools, and we will look at the scene of the supervision as a map of relationships between the patient, the therapist, and the supervisor, in order to learn about the dynamic between those three layers. And we will also try to look at different approach, so we know what is convenient for us in supervision. Supervision is really a special tool to look inward as therapists. We can learn a lot about ourselves and our relationship, our body, and also different tendency towards our patients through supervision. So it's actually a process of growth, mutual growth. Supervision actually is a trio dialogue of three dimensions. As we said, the patient, the therapist, and the supervisor. And we have different layers that we are looking into in supervision. We have the body, we have the emotional level, and also we have the mental level and the energetical level. So we'll try, while going, look at those 3 or 4 layers. When do we go to supervision? So what are really the points that send therapists to supervision? I would like to hear from you in what tools you work with, if you can introduce yourself, and when do you seek supervision?
My name is Sanad, I'm a psychotherapist, and I seek supervision many times when I want that the supervisor will hold with me the issues. Sometimes it's a lot to hold.
Thank you for this. It's really important, because the holding in supervision, we will soon get to it and see what it means. Ayelet, I'm really happy you're here. You can also introduce yourself. When do you find supervision important for you? In what cases?
Okay, so my name is Ayelet. I'm a body psychotherapist. And I think for me, supervision is, again, every time I encounter a challenge in the clinic, every time I encounter transference in the clinic, I think that's when supervision is good for me. And also, every time I want to celebrate the good things.
Acknowledge
acknowledge
achievements
in
supervision. Very good. As you both said, we seek supervision in cases that we're in a dilemma, or we have some black spots, like things that we cannot understand and see. And sometimes even to celebrate good things and to acknowledge achievements in therapy. What different approach we have to supervision? So first one, and Tamar Cohen wrote about it in her book Supervision in Psychotherapy, we have cognitive didactic approaches. And those cognitive didactic approaches want to teach us, is like a course or a method that is more didactic for the therapist. We have methods that are based on the supervisory inner growth, which means the process is more an emotional process, and it's more about the therapist than about his patient. Mm-hmm. And of course, we have those methods that look into the client, that want to understand about the client, and the method that acquires the interpersonal growth, which means it looks into the relational parts. The goals of supervision is to walk with the therapist and supervise his work, to help him to deal with inner conflict, to help the therapist to introspect into his work, and to improve the dialogue between him and his patient. So actually we have a bond between three different layers: the therapist, the patient, and the supervisor. So now we will get into a little exercise which I really invite you to do at home, and that will demonstrate the relationship between the therapist and the supervisor. So I invite you to take two little drafts, mm-hmm. and you can choose the color, one color for the therapist and one color for the supervisor and okay. And now you can demonstrate with those 2 pages what kind of a relationship you think will be the best for you as therapists, mm-hmm. between the supervisor and the supervisee. What kind of interaction? Is it a mutual one, a holding one, a distant one, a more maybe symmetrical one? What kind of a relationship we are seeking here? For you in person, I mean. Mm-hmm. So at home you can also choose different colors.
So it's dynamic, and there's a song in Hebrew. Shall I sing it? ברכת אדמה בתוך גופי, לרפא אותך זה לרפא אותי, כי היית כבר עימי והיום את ביתי, לרפא אותך זה לרפא אותי.
Sanan, this is very touching for me, because it's really, this song is about a mutual healing process between different, really a constellation, familial constellation, and we often in the supervision process we can see those relations that comes into the supervision as a transference So thank you very much for your beautiful song.
Okay, so for me, supervision is like coming home. It's like the anchor into which I'm coming home as a therapist, bringing on my patients. And so when I'm holding my patients, the supervision is holding me and my patients inside me.
Ayelet talked about the holding. As Sanan said before, it's a mutual container. And we'll really talk about this container. And I love the fact that it's a process that holds the patient through the therapist. This leads us to the second exercise about the container of the supervision. And I would like to talk about two different approaches as well. There is Winnicott approach that talked about the holding. You know, as Winnicott said, there is no mother without a baby. So he was really talking about this holding effect. And I would like now soon to try and feel in ourselves this special container that we grow into supervision. And in the other hand, we have Bion that was telling us about the container, containing the situation, which is a different approach, because as Bion sits, it's a cognitive effect. It means think through the patient dynamics. So then the supervision is a process of like digesting mentally for the supervisee all the knowledge that comes through supervision. Okay, so I invite us now to really, and of course you're told to do a little exercise. We will start from grounding our feet because we want to embody this posture. I invite you to put your feet on the ground, feel the soil, and take a few breaths. We can also feel our pelvis and feel we are all in. We are here, really physically, emotionally, mentally, and energetically. As we let the breathing in and out in a natural pace. And as we look at our breathing, we will see in our body a place that the breath is really going into and accumulating there. Is it the belly or the chest, maybe, or another place in the body? We're just following the breathing and looking at the place that it accumulates and form. This is our container, the container of the supervisor. And as we connect and feel this container, let's look at those particular qualities that it has in me, within me. Is it a soft container, or maybe a strong or tough one? Do this special place in me has a vast place, or is it narrow? And we can even look at different properties as light. Is it an enlightenment container or dark inside? And of course we can ask ourselves, is it comfortable for me there when I'm sitting there or laying down or standing? What posture am I used to have in this particular container of the supervisor that I want to become or exercise? Now we can choose to bring our supervisee, the person that we would like to give supervision to, and see if they have any space in there. And of course, if they feel comfortable. And if we like the being together in this container, we can choose to change something that we would like to do in a different way. Maybe something in the posture, maybe something in the distance, or in holding our body in the light or in the darkness. Maybe we need it wider or narrower. We can do all those little changes inside us and see if it changes our impression, our feeling into this special container. And let's take one quality, one sensation that we would like to bring on to this course and that will follow us through those different sessions that we can take, and we'll know then that this is a part of who I am as a supervisor. How does it feel for me to be this special supervisor? What qualities do I find there for me and for my supervisee? If it has a sensation, an image. So slowly we can come back here to the room with this special quality that I found in myself as supervisor. Slowly open our eyes, feel the ground again. How was it for you?
Beautiful, really. Yeah, to feel to be awake and aware and present, and I imagined, a very long
channel.
Yeah, channel and a feather.
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 Beautiful. Beautiful. And this feather connected you to what quality?
To being present and awake and aware, and also the warmth of the heart.
Amazing. Very important qualities for a supervisor, the warmth of the heart and this channel that is open and lighted. Thank you.
Yeah,
Would you like to share?
Yeah, sure. So I felt it in my diaphragm. And then I had a vision of a hammock. My diaphragm being a hammock, or my container being a hammock. And then it was rainbow colored, of course. And it was very flexible. It was holding tightly maybe, or firmly, but very flexible.
Firmly and flexible.
Yeah, for example, there were no holes. It wasn't a net, it was like a hole.
It felt whole.
Yeah, exactly. And then we were sitting and holding hands, and it was like, and also I felt the kind of like the movement between the abdominal, which was maybe the unconscious, and then the upper lungs and mouth, which is maybe the more conscious topics. And then we were like moving, and sometimes we were jumping And it felt too much, and then we wanted to lay down, so it was very fluid as well, very flexible, fluid, but very whole, very holding, very safe, and maybe a little childlike game.
Yes, I hear you talking a lot today about fun and qualities of closeness in a way, and also happiness that can you bring today to
maybe
this space of supervision.
Yeah, maybe inquiry is a word that comes up.
Inquiry, but as I feel, because I'm working with my body resonance as well as I listen to you, of course, so I hear holding, which is also very safe. So inquire in a safe and calm way that is flexible. That is flexible. Thank you. Okay, we are soon coming to the end of this lesson. So I thank you very much. We talked about today in our first lesson, we talked about different approach to supervision. We talked about the didactic approach, about the one that inquires into the self of the supervisee as a growth process. And we talked about the mutual relationship between those three layers, the client, the therapist, and the supervisee. So those three layers can be the supervision goals. We talked a little bit about what brings people to supervision, which is a dilemma or some kind of stagnation or black point that we're not aware to, or just growing process that supervisee wants to have. And of course we talked about the container, which is so important in supervision, that we found today those special qualities that each of us have, that I believe in person is most important in supervision, to find our own container and look at the qualities that we bring to supervision. So thank you very much, and see you in the next lesson.